Okay, so let's go ahead with our investigation of the FANG SOng GONG exercises. And we're going to work on three moves today: the Emperor's cartwheels, pick stars to a moon, and inserting palms into sleeves, which I call birches swaying in the breeze, which is a little more poetic. But we'll go into each of those in a little detail. But let's start by doing the three Fang Song Gong moves that we learned the other day. So the first move is called Heaven's Qi Clears Obstructions, or you can call it Yang Qi Clears Tension. Right? We're going to open the palms to heaven and breathe Heaven's Qi, Yang Qi, into the top of the head and wash it all the way through the body. Let it pick up any tension or obstructions and wash it out the bottom of the feet. And then yin and yang harmony. And then bear presses palms. Okay, move number 4, the new move, the Emperor's Cartwheels. Okay, let's talk about the Emperor's Cartwheels. So this move is actually similar to the second move, Yin and Yang Harmony, and it has aspects of the third move, Bear Presses Palms, but it's a little different too. Alright? So Yin and Yang Harmony, very small movements. Right? Hardly even moving the hands and arms, focusing on rolling the hips, shifting the weight, very, very, very gentle. Bear presses palms, quite a bit bigger, and really focusing on pum and on. Pum and on. The first move, Yin and Yang Harmony, is very round. Right? You're really going round circles. So you're going to activate the microcosmic orbit up and down the back, up and down the front, but it's going to be focused largely in the abdominal area. So between the solar plexus and the root chakra. Right? Just in this area here, it's going to be rolling. A little up into the shoulders and even to the top of the head, all the way down to the bottom of the feet. But most of it's happening in here. The Sunday morning exercises, we do an exercise like this. Very similar. It's really right in this area in here. Okay, when you do bear presses palms, yeah, there's a little microcosmic orbit, but really it's all about up on one side and down on the other. Up on one side, down on the other. That's an exercise of the principle Shuling Dingjin Chichen Danqian. Your shu, your spirit rises, your chi falls. Right? So your spirit rises, your chi falls. Spirit rises on the other side, chi falls. It's much more linear. The first exercise, Hung, Lu, On, Qi. I'm just going to count out the energies on the right side. Hung, Lu, On, Qi. Very small. Very, very gentle. I mean, don't think about that when you do it, but that's what you're doing. Right? When you're doing the second exercise, bear presses palms, it's pretty much Hung and On. A little bit of Lu, a little bit of G in there, of course, but it's mainly just those two exercises. Now, when we get to the Emperor's cartwheels, now, first of all, it's big, all right? That's why it's the Emperor's cartwheels, because he's got the biggest cartwheels. The whole body. Oh, you can really feel the microcosmic orbit. Up the back, down the front, up the back, down the front. Oh, the whole microcosmic orbit is really moving. Now you can do this really vigorously, or you can do it like we're going to do it, much more meditatively, but it's still really big. There's a lot of pong and on, pong and on, but there's a lot more Lu and G in there too. Pong, Lu, on, Qi. Pong, Lu, on, Qi. So the pong and the on tend to predominate, but there's a lot more Lu and G in there. All right, Lu energy is created by spinning on your central axis, right? You're spinning. You're actually doing the same thing when you do Lu here. You're spinning, and that causes your arm to go out. But that's Lu. And then on, and then G is condensing back into the center in order to go Pung again. So all four of those energies, big, Emperor's cartwheel. Right, and reverse. The Emperor puts his cart in reverse. Now, I am doing those fairly quickly just because we have limited time here. So the way I'm doing it right now, fairly quickly, is much more like Huanyan Qigong that we do Sunday morning. But when you're doing FANG SONG GONG, which this is supposedly a class in, you actually should do them more slowly, more meditatively. Let yourself just relax into the motion. And good. All right. The next move is called Pick Stars to a Moon, which is a really sort of funny title. My understanding of it is uh, heaven has, the Chinese saying is, heaven has three great things: sun, moon, and stars. All right. All right. Earth has three great things too, including human beings. So when you're picking stars to a moon, right? You're picking stars and bringing them into the moon. Well, where's the moon? Your Dan channel. All right. Pick stars to a moon. So when you're doing this exercise using that metaphor, then you actually it's like you're in an orchard and you're picking plums or you're picking apples. So you actually reach out and pick between those two fingers and the thumb and bring it into the Dan Shen. However, this same exercise is done under other circumstances where it's a little bit more of a stretching exercise. So instead of picking, you create something called sword fingers. So that these two fingers are like a sword, right? And you stretch and stretch, 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 stretch. Stretch, stretch. And reverse. Again, stretch. Okay, so what we just did with that stretching, that's actually silk reeling. That's not FANG SONG GONG. It's silk reeling, so it's taking a very similar movement and using it for its stretching potential and its twisting potential, so silk reeling. But it's good to see that because you realize that stretch is kind of built into it. Now, when we do the FANG SONG GONG version of it, where you're picking stars to a moon, you can add a little bit of that stretch in. Just remember, it's a relaxation exercise, not a stretching exercise. Right? So just pick and relax. Pick, relax. All right, the final move we're going to look at today, the traditional name is inserting palms into sleeves. So if you think of traditional Chinese dress, they would have very loose sleeves that would hang down. And they did that on purpose. There was no heat in China, and northern China is cold. It's if you look at a map, it's northern China is like up in Canada. So the winds come down from the north. It is freezing cold in northern China. And everybody loves to put their hands in their sleeves to keep warm. So this exercise, and particularly with this name, it's like you're putting your hand into your sleeve, and then you open, and you put your hand into the right sleeve, and then you open, and the left sleeve, and then open. So this is the traditional way of doing it. It's kind of like you're holding a big ball here, right? Alternating, shifting your weight. This is a wonderful exercise. I love this exercise. However, I do it a slightly different way. So this is the way Master Zhang and Feng taught us to do it. And so I renamed it. I renamed it Birches Swaying in the Wind. It's really exactly the same move, but instead of kind of just going like this, right, into the sleeves, you go all the way up to the shoulder and then open. So it's much bigger. So that exercise, I'm going to continue to do the really large version. Um, that's a good. This is a good exercise to understand the difference between a little more traditional approach to Chen style Tai Chi and also old Qigong, and the slightly more modern version you find in Huanyan. Um, they're really the same move, right? But inserting palms into sleeves is kind of medium size, you could say. It's kind of medium, right? But the way we do it is big. So why did Grandmaster Feng increase the size of everything in Huanyan Tai Chi and in Huanyan Qigong? Because it allows you to practice your range of motion. it's it's a good training regime. It's not extreme. It's not like that, but it's big. Just let yourself go out all the way without straightening your elbows or lifting your shoulders. Right? Your elbows are down, your shoulders are relaxed. Right? But it's a nice curve in your elbows, but it's big. So Feng wanted folks to stretch their wings a little bit energetically, to open up and explore the range of motion in your body and in your body mind. You can always go smaller if you want to or need to. But when you practice big, you kind of practice the whole range. If you only practice really small all the time, moving into a new large range is a little more difficult because you've never explored that territory. So this is about exploring that big territory. You can always go a little smaller if you want, because the smaller version is inside the bigger version. So nice and big. Okay, guys, so we have the first 6 movements of the FANG SONG GONG system. Like I said in the first lesson, you can make up exercises. It's not what you're doing so much as how you're doing it that really counts. Right? Stick to the principles, slow down, breathe deeply, right? And anything can become a FANG SONG GONG exercise. Originally, I was going to look at 12 exercises, common exercises. But I think we're going to change that and go all the way to 18. When we do the whole routine, we can do 18, we can do 12, we can do 6. Usually, when you do it just on your own, you don't do that. You don't go and do the whole. It's not so much a routine. It's just something you just sort of do once in a while, right? So these little exercises, like this is a great the yin and yang harmony exercise is a great and common exercise to do between Tai Chi forms. You finish your form, and you do a minute or two of yin and yang harmony, just to let things cool down. And then a minute or two of meditation. Okay, so the rest of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's up to you guys to practice. So you should have this sheet because I sent it out the other day. So you've got these 6 moves to practice plus the other 3 whole routines. And then I'll be back in on Friday and we'll work on moves number 7, 8, and 9. And we'll just keep working like this until we get all 18. I'm recording these. They're going to end up on the advanced Qigong page on the website, as well as on the YouTube channel. So they'll be available, but I'm not going to repeat these. So the folks who were not here are going to have to go and watch those videos to pick up these details of what's going on, right? Okay, guys, you have yourselves a great week of practice, right? And I'll see you again soon. Ciao.